Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. It is 1 AM in the UK. Normally, news from TREYARCH comes out at 6 PM local time, but for some reason, 1 AM, they decided to tweet out and say, our biggest Black Ops 4 content update yet arrives next week on PS4 with Operation Absolute Zero. All the details on new content coming to MP, Blackout, Zombies and more are in the TREYARCH blog post. We head on over there. BO4's launch is just barely behind us and the response by the community has been incredible. Here at TREYARCH we've been aggressively tracking daily community feedback, and we're proud to say that many new features and content included in this update have been inspired by player input. As you've already seen with some of the information that we've begun to share, we're dropping our biggest game update next week with Operation Absolute Zero, a massive new series of content and the next phase in our commitment to making Black Ops 4 the most frequently updated and best supported game in our studio's history. Just an initial reaction to that, it's really cool to see that they're saying that things in this update are directly inspired by community feedback. That is absolutely awesome, and it's also really cool that they still want to be committed to the idea of making BO4 the most frequently updated, best supported game in their studio's history, but so far, their track record for zombies has been so bad that that kind of statement feels a little bit hollow. It's early days though, so next week's update I'm sure might change things. In MP, they are adding a new specialist called Zero, who is a versatile and deadly hacker. Oh, okay, it's the hacker archetype then. Alright, got it? In Blackout, they're setting the stage for several hotly anticipated updates to the core Blackout experience, including a new armor repair system, which everyone was talking about during the beta. I was talking about it, Noah was talking about it when we were on stream with him, JC was talking about it when we were on stream with him. Like, we were all talking about these sorts of ideas. Really good to hear that they're changing that armor repair system. Audio improvements, which we've been waiting on for a long time in Blackout, SDM and Spitfire weapon balancing, and seasonal changes across the entire map. That's really cool to hear. Seasonal changes on the map is something that we really need to see more in Blackout in order for it to stay fresh, so that's great news. They say players will immediately notice the map's new visual updates as soon as they jump out of the helicopter, from seasonal changes in foliage and softer winter lighting to new smoke trails to better indicate where everyone is dropping. Cool. Subtle environment improvements are also coming to Nuketown Island, Hydro Dam, and Factory. See if you can spot what's new on Monday and watch for our patch notes with more details on these updates next week. Then, the next day, December 11th, we get Hijacked on PS4. There's a new armoured vehicle, which is the Arav, and it has a turret-mounted machine gun. You can also drop in as Zero after unlocking her, or as one of the 4 zombie-killing gladiators from 9 after finding and completing the brand new set of Blackout Zombies character missions. So, new character missions. It's that crew, the Chaos crew, except it's the 9 versions of them. They say we're also amping up our collection of personalization items that can be used in Blackout in the new and improved Black Market, including unlockable characters, epic specialist outfits, shared war paints, and more personalization items to use in the world of Blackout. Now, just a quick comment about that. I mean, it's like characters, specialist outfits, war paints. It would be really cool to see weapon variants, or like something along those lines. Something that would really spruce up the guns and make them feel a bit more unique, but I guess it's a bit harder to do just to the way the mode itself works. On that point though, they say on top of the free content kicking off next week, there's even more coming to Blackout soon with the addition of custom games, which is ridiculous that it hasn't happened yet. Like, it's honestly just silly that there haven't been any custom games for Blackout, seeing as there were loads in the beta. Like, there were custom game modes in the beta, but then they just stopped doing them on release. Weapon camos, that's great to hear. Stash interference updates on consoles, holiday map decorations, throwable snowballs, new seasonal special event tiers, in-game promos, gameplay improvements, and more. On the whole, sounds pretty positive. And then, zombies. For our Zombies players, the team has been fiercely dedicated to making our biggest Day 1 collection of Zombies experiences even better with each new update. We've made continuous gameplay and stability improvements since launch across all 4 maps. And next week, we're proud to introduce 3 new free features for Zombies players on all platforms. Daily callings. Oh, thank you, TREYARCH. The Black Ops Authenticity Stamp System, which I'm surprised was something that they're calling a new feature. I mean, it's really just like a leaderboard thing, essentially. And daily tier skips for Zombies. Oh, wait, no factions? Huh? Hold on, maybe they're talking about factions later down. I thought factions were going to be in here. Daily callings. New gameplay challenges that reward Zombies players with bonus XP and plasma upon completion. Be sure to check the Zombies barracks for each day's new challenge to maximize your earnings, level up faster, and concoct even more elixirs and talismans for your next record-breaking run. Well, that all sounds great, but on PC, they already have the daily callings, or at least some people have had the daily callings already, and they're literally like, survive 30 rounds and you get like 20 plasma. So it's nothing kind of insane. It's literally just the system that we saw in like World War II Zombies, basically. And because we're getting literally less than one single talisman spin of plasma for doing it, it's definitely not something that's gonna completely revolutionize the way you play the game, I don't think. But it's good that they are delivering at last. After months of waiting, they are finally delivering on the thing that they promised in the global reveal. We were promised daily, weekly, and monthly callings, and we're only just getting them now, but it's good to see that they are finally being put in the game. I don't really know why it took so long. I don't really understand why the system that was in Black Ops 3 or World War II Zombies or whatever was so hard to put into Black Ops 4. I don't know. I don't know what the game design kind of background decision-making process is that they've gone for there, but I'm just glad to see that they're actually getting into the game now and we finally have daily callings. I can stop constantly going on about them not being in the game. That's good news. Then they talk about the BOAS stamp system, Black Ops Authenticity Stamp. That's something that they talked about again in the global reveal and was just not in the game at launch at all. They say it'll allow you to verify and share the results of your game online with a personalized code generated at the end of each match. The system website tracks a variety of stats, including number of kills, deaths, downs, revives, headshots, and rounds survived, map selection, game type, number of players, difficulty attempted, special weapon equipment, talismans used, perks and elixirs equipped, number of elixirs consumed, match duration, score spent, final score, and more. That sounds pretty good, honestly. The fact that they're tracking all of those things is good news. I question why the leaderboards that they put into the game, like in-game, the leaderboards didn't have all those things as well, because clearly they can track them if they're adding that as a visual thing on this website. So I don't really understand why the leaderboard doesn't show you them, but again, it's another one of those things where it's like, at least we're getting the feature, right? So that is good news that that is finally coming as well. We actually saw the BOAS system in action at TREYARCH at the review event for the game. We were there a couple days early, we got to play the game, and at the end of each match, it basically gave you a phrase saying some kind of sentence like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or something, and it would cram it all into one word, and that would be your personalized code that you would then put in the website and get all of these stats. We'll have to wait and see for which other stats are being tracked, because they just say and more here. It'd be really cool to see if we could get like a heat map of where we've been in the match, like as we've run around the map, where we've spent the most time, things like that. That's going to help weed out people glitching and trying to submit that for leaderboards and stuff along those lines. I brought that up to Jason with Matt actually at Treyarch, and he thought it was a pretty cool idea, so maybe we'll see something like that in the future as well. Fingers crossed. They also say, we've also heard the community's requests for a path to earn black market tier progression by playing zombies, and we're happy to announce the addition of the daily tier skip for zombies. Wait. Oh. Starting next week, simply complete 15 rounds in one game of classic zombies each day if your daily bonus black market tier. But all you get is the skip? Huh? I don't understand. I feel like there was meant to be another paragraph in this post that they've just missed. Because they say, we've given you a path to earn black market tier progression, but it only being the skip just seems like, I mean, what about playing the game? What about after you reach round 15? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there exactly, but it's good. Again, it's like, it's with all of these, man. It's the same deal every time. I'm sitting here like, thankful and glad that these features are finally coming. I'm definitely really pleased. But each one, I'm kind of just left like, wait, they're doing it like this? Oh, interesting. Okay, like, it's just not really the way that I expected them to roll out this kind of update. But, I mean, it's the first one in 2 months, so there are obviously going to be some natural questions that arise from it, so no real surprises there, I guess. Moving on, they say, with an unprecedented amount of zombies experiences released by the end of this year, with an unprecedented amount of zombies experiences released by the end of this year. Are they hinting that there is more coming this year after all? Bruh? We've never been more committed to delivering new and exciting content for the zombies community. Next week's launches of daily callings, BOAS, and daily tier skips are just the beginning, And, okay, here we go. We're also kicking off our limited time winter calling event in Zombies with new seasonal personalization rewards to unlock on December 13th. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, I see the word factions. We'll continue to roll out more new features and gameplay in 2019, including factions, new seasonal event callings, Phase 2 of the BOAS system, featuring deeper player stats. Oh, okay, so I guess that's things like the heat map and stuff like that. Awesome. And additional gameplay improvements free for all players. More details to come. Okay. So we're not getting factions this year, which I think is really unfortunate. But we are getting a new winter calling with new seasonal personalization rewards. Hopefully it's more than just face paint this time. That would be awesome. But that's good that that's happening. It's good that we do have a daily tier skip now. I made a whole video about that saying why the hell is that not in Zombies? So that's good. And we do now have daily callings coming as well. There's also a whole load about how they're changing the black market system. And they're, for example, switching from 200 tiers to 100 tiers now. There's new item categories, there's new mastercrafts, they've got some content changes, and they're just sort of mixing some things around and stuff like that. But they don't say anything there about black market changes that include you being able to actually earn black market progression in Zombies beyond your daily tier skip. That's the end of the post. They say keep an eye on our social channels on what's coming next week, and tune into our TREYARCH Studio live stream on December 11th to get all the juicy intel straight from the devs. No mention of DLC. Huh. So, thoughts on this? As I kind of covered a little moment ago, I think it's really good that daily callings are finally being put in the game. The fact that that wasn't there originally and now is being put in is fixing a fundamental flaw with the launch of Black Ops 4 Zombies. And so that gets a thumbs up, 100%, no doubt in my mind. Is it a system and a feature that I think could be improved potentially? Maybe, but it's not in the game yet. I can't really rate it. It's on PC, but who knows if that's just like an accidental early version that they put out because it's not meant to be out until next week. We're going to have to see what the calling system is like, and I'll make a video next week whether I like it or I don't. I want to warn you now, guys, that if next week I jump in game and I think the calling system sucks, I'm going to make a video about that and I'm going to say it. And I get a lot of comments and a lot of tweets as well that can be really nasty, saying essentially that I'm just whining too much and I'm being too negative, etc, etc. And I kind of get that perspective, but I also want to remind you that the only reason we started getting Zombies stability fix, patch notes, and things like that in the first place was because I started talking about all this stuff. And the only way we're ever going to get our ideas into the game, as Treyarch have literally said, and as Jason has literally said to me as well so many times, is to make videos on it and to talk about these things. We can't just keep our mouths shut, sit with our arms folded, and pretend that Treyarch are going to fix all the problems magically if we don't say anything. We've got to talk about the problems and keep talking about them until they're fixed, and then talk about the fact that they're fixed, and then talk about how good the game is once they've been fixed. Like, we absolutely need to do that if we're going to be able to move forward with this game and actually get it into a place where it is the best possible Zombies experience that we've ever had, rather than the kind of product that we have right now that a lot of people have kind of fled from. On that note, I want to say a couple of things about what I think of this blog post. I'm appreciative of the fact that they said that Callings isn't going to be coming to 2019. That means that we finally can kind of put that one to bed. Factions was promised at the world reveal, and it did not release on launch, and it will not release until next year as a feature for Black Ops 4 Zombies. Fine. Do I think that that's good? No. Jason said that it was finished and that it would be too much content for us to experience on day one, and that's why he had delayed it. And now we're not getting it until next year. I just, as a Zombies player, as a fan, as whatever, am disappointed that it's not been put into the game sooner. I think that it should have been. I think that the gap that we've had between the launch frenzy of 4 maps, which was great, and loads of content for us to chew on, and then the expanse of time until now in which nothing's happened in Zombies other than crash fixes, and it's just got stale very fast for a lot of people, that could have been really mitigated, I think, with the faction system. Or at least what we know of the faction system, because, again, they still haven't really even talked about what the hell that thing is. Granted, Callings could have done that as well, to some extent at least, and it's good to see that Callings are now going into the game, but that's only one part of the picture. Like, the factions part of the picture, as far as it seems, is integral to the experience as well. We just don't have it yet. I think it's unfortunate. Also, no DLC in December? Like I've said in previous videos, the reason I thought there was going to be a DLC in December was because for Black Ops 1, DLC 1 came out in February. I think it was February 2nd was Der Eisendrache, right? So February DLC, but they announced it in December. It was the earliest announcement we'd ever had. It was announced in December and then came out right at the beginning of February. Now Black Ops 4 is shifted 3 weeks backwards from Black Ops 3 because of the release date of October 12th. And as such, I anticipated a DLC 1 trailer weeks ago now at this point, and we didn't get one. I thought we were going to get one this week as well. We didn't get one. And I thought then that if we do the 3-week shift, that would put the DLC right at the start of January, essentially, first week of January, but no one ever really releases anything first week of January because Q4 has just ended. That crazy hype of marketing, everyone's spending their money on Christmas, things like that, that is over. And so everyone just needs a break, and so nothing really ever seems to happen in the first week of January. And so I figured what they would most likely do is shift it back an extra week or two into December, and that way they'd be able to basically convert all of the marketing towards selling Black Ops 4 to also include selling Black Ops 4 and selling DLC 1. Like, it would just make business sense, I feel like. And for the community, who at this point are definitely waiting for more content, it would be perfect as well. I mean, this is the exact time you need a DLC to spice things up. But instead we're getting the free updates they've mentioned here, and as of so far, nothing else. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's a disappointment. It just is. I was hoping for a DLC, and it's not, so I'm disappointed, right? Do I think it's the end of the world? No. I think that it's fine that there isn't a DLC right now because, if anything, it's going to mean that they can spend more time fixing the game and making sure it isn't broken when that DLC comes out. Because the last thing any of us wants is that DLC 1 map to release and it to be a broken and buggy mess of a game, just like we had when Black Ops 4 Zombies actually came out in the first place. I would much rather that experience be a little later, but actually work when it came out, so that all of the experiences I had in the game weren't mired by the crashing, and it seems like that might be what they're going for, so I think that it's a decision that I can kind of nod my head at and applaud, but I also at the same time wish, and maybe it's unrealistic, but I wish that we were still getting a DLC now anyway, because I just want some zombies to play, man. Like, I want something new to do in the game. Daily callings might be cool, but I mean, it's just going to be surviving 30 rounds or getting headshots or something, and it's not really the same level as a new map. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts. I think that it's good that this is all coming, 100%. I just don't think it's going to make much of a difference to the general player base playing zombies right now who are waiting for Treyarch to actually show that this is going to be the best zombies experience we've ever had, period. Like, I don't think that this update is going to show that. It's going to show that they're listening. It's going to show that they are absolutely working on these features. But is it enough? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. My prediction is that the community will get in a bit of a frenzy over these for a day, 2 days, 3 days. There'll be a lot of hype around these new systems for a couple of days at least. But by the time a week has passed, a lot of people are not going to be talking about callings anymore, because I suspect the calling system will turn out to just be a way to get a very minimal amount of plasma per day. They're not adding the mastery camos into zombies. They're not adding blackout progression into zombies apart from a tier skip. They're not adding factions in. It's just like every single thing that is positive in this game feels like it's weighed down by a load of other things that are like, but what if they did this as well? Or what if they delivered on their promise here too? And I don't know, man. It's just exhausting being a Zombies fan right now. But this, at least, is a good start. So Treyarch, thumbs up. Maybe release a DLC in December as well, guys. Like, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it would be really nice. I think that having a DLC to play on December 11th or December 18th would be amazing. Please do it, Treyarch. That would be great. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video anyway. Leave a like if you have, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.